Straw Hut Media.
Hello, hello, Arconiacs. Welcome to our next episode of Only Murders in the Pod, companion Reddit talk. We are going to be joined today by a very, very special guest. We have Cyril Creighton joining. He plays Howard on the show. There is a lot of love for Howard this week, so please bring some of that love to the talk today. We will be accepting live questions and comments, so if you would like to join in, please raise your hand by hitting the hand icon and come up on stage. Alternatively, also send us a note through the comments, which we will be reading the entire time through. So send some love his way, and also to our esteemed hosts, Keener and KK of Only Murders in the Pod, and show some love with some emojis.
Hello there.
Hello.
It's just me today. Keener couldn't join us, but I am here representing.
Oh, we love you both. And although we miss Keener, we love having you on here, KK.
I'll be here too, and I'm not Keener, but I do know a lot of information.
And we always love Straw Hat. And I don't know if you want me to use your first name on the internet.
Yeah, my name is Ryan.
Okay. We love Ryan.
Thank you. Yes, Michael is on his way. I know that he is out for dinner with his mother right now.
Oh my gosh, that is so wonderful,
isn't it?
I know he's gonna come in. I know he's got the link, so he should be here soon. And this is, for those of you that don't know, this is Howard Morris, the cat guy himself. So gonna be in here. Oh, he's here. I see his hand.
All right, here we go. I will bring him up. Thank you for raising your hand. Oh my gosh. And wait, if you'd like, your mom is also welcome to join the talk. We're not exclusive.
Hi.
There he is.
There he is.
Oh my gosh, hello.
Hello, I feel so old. I created this this account just so I could do this because I only usually lurk. And I have no idea what I'm doing. Hello.
The fact that you even come on here and lurk, I think, means the world to many people. So thank you for sharing that.
Not all the time. The only thing I've heard is that people don't think I'm skinny enough to be Glitter Guy. And now I guess we know some answers to that question, whether I am or not, I don't know.
Well, Michael, I hope that in addition to lurking about comments like that, you are also seeing all of the love that is coming your way.
Yes.
There so many people love Howard, but now after this week, they're also a little bit worried about Howard because they feel like they are getting even more emotionally attached, and they think that might be a sign that Howard might be a victim of season 3, and that is why they are scared.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. People have trust issues here. Well,
yeah, I get it.
You don't want to get too attached.
Yeah.
Exactly. Similarly, they are so happy that Howard found Jonathan, that they had that beautiful moment, but they also are all very suspicious of him.
As they should be.
Yes.
Well, something, if you noticed, when they were in Howard's apartment, he sneezed. The boyfriend sneezed. And if you recall, back in the catacombs, the killer also sneezed. So I've been keeping an eye out for people sneezing throughout the series, and I did clock that. So I'm just putting that out there.
Did you compare like the sounds of the sneezes? Not that I would say either way, but
I didn't get that. I didn't take that deep of a dive into it, but I'm just keeping an eye out.
Really
don't worry, KK. The internet did that for you.
As a character, I really hope he's not involved because I like him so much. But I don't know. I treat every episode like it's just the end of the story. So right now, Howard has a happy ending. We'll see what happens in 9.
Well, I mean, I don't know if there's any questions out there for Michael regarding Howard, regarding episode 8, but if there are, I would love to hear them.
Yes, me too.
Michael, I don't know if you can see this. Well, actually, this person's not on stage yet, but now they are. I don't know if you can see their icon.
I can see it.
And so her has actually been on stage before. This was not just for this week. They have this, yes. So I want to acknowledge that. But her, go ahead.
Little picture of me. You are so handsome, her.
I would say that's from Evelyn's birthday party too.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I love Howard. I relate to him on a spiritual level because I am a cat lover. So yeah, if like anything happens to him, like Sevelin must be protected at all costs. So yes.
Of course. Yes.
Okay, so I have a question here, and I'm sure there's like only a little limited amount of like what you can say. So we already know from season 1 that Howard has this thing where he like passes out at the sight of blood. And we know that Howard also like hurt his eye towards the beginning of the season, like got a black eye or something. So is it possible that Howard saw something that he really wasn't supposed to see, such as Bunny's killing, and like freaked out, passed out, whatever, and he's like hiding that from the trio? Or is Nina Lynn actually like a punching bitch?
So as far as I'm concerned, anything could be possible, but Nina Lynn punched me. I will say, as far as I'm concerned, at this point, Nina Lynn punched me. That's what I believe is the truth. I have said before, I think, maybe I said it to Keener and KK, it's like, each script, I don't know what the next script's going to bring, so I just sometimes have to make choices that hopefully work. But as far as I am concerned, Nina Lynn punched me. And as far as I was concerned in that other episode, I was playing hide and seek with my cat. So you never know. I never even know what's true and what's not true coming out of Howard's mouth. I think he has interesting ways of communicating. is all I can say. And I will say that Nina Lynn punched me. She will cut a bitch.
Oh, so let's not piss off Nina Lynn then.
Don't cross her.
No way.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Yahar.
You're welcome. Thanks,
if anyone has any more questions, please hit that hands icon to raise your hand. We'll bring you up. In the meantime, I do have a question from Reverse Arrow 95. And the question is, other than his new love and yodeling, what's something you'd like to see in Howard's future? Is there anything from your life you'd like to bring to the character, like the way Steve and Martin do with theirs?
Well, what I'd like to see, I would love to see Howard's family, where Howard comes from, what Howard's history is, because I don't know that right now. I would love to see if I don't know if he has family. That's something I would love to see, and something I'd like to bring from my own life in there. That's a really, really good question. I would like to see how Howard is with dogs.
Oh my
God. Man.
Maybe he has a dog and cat. I just think he loves all animals, and I love my dog so much. So maybe I could get her a cameo if I end up living or not being the killer.
Yes.
Love that.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. We don't know.
I mean, you have the internet's fingers and toes crossed. People are very worried, and the love runs deep.
I'm very worried.
I'm sorry. I did not mean. That was not meant to worry you. Pangolin 36, you are on if you'd like to unmute and ask your question.
Hello. Thanks so much for having me. Thank you, Michael. It's been a pleasure watching Howard on screen. My question would be: this season, we've seen flashbacks of people in the 70s, like in the Son of Sangam in the 70s. My question would be, do you think it's possible that was a flashback of Howard? If so, what would you think of that kind of storyline to see what Howard was up to, at some point in the past?
Would we ever get a flashback of Howard? Yeah, I would love that. I think it would be interesting to see how he ended up in that apartment and what led him to inhabiting that apartment. Obviously, I mean, from the decorations and whatnot and all the work that the set deck did and the designers, it seems like, I don't know that it's all his style. So I would be really interested in seeing that. And I always think it would be really interesting to see what Howard looked like as a little kid. Like, I just imagine a tiny kid with those giant glasses on. It makes me laugh so much.
Oh, and a sweater, an itchy sweater.
Exactly. But I don't know. I would love a flashback story for him.
I got a question for you, Michael. This is Ryan, by the way. Are you still keeping up on your yodeling?
You know what? I'm actually so much better than I was when we recorded it because I'm not nervous. Like, I can easily, while I'm doing dishes or anything, yodel the sound of silence. When we filmed it seemed impossible, like a mountain to climb. I am still working on it, and I'd like to get better.
It's evolving.
It's evolving. It's a work in progress.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Someone did mention Simon and Garth Yodel in the discussion this week, and I know you have to go in a couple minutes. So I'm going to take one question from the comments, and it comes from Hannah Lemp. I want to just also mention that her flair is, "Where are the balls, Howard?"
That's so funny.
It's so good.
Funny.
But
I can tell you a funny little thing that there was a line that came after that didn't end up making it, and it was so funny to me. Howard said, I think it was, she said, "Where are the balls, Howard?" And he goes, "I'm a balls bloodhound." And he said the line something like, "I'm a balls bloodhound," and he was like going to find them, but it didn't make it in. I don't know why. But sorry to interrupt you. I really like that flair.
Please, no, you can interrupt me anytime. And like, what a wonderful anecdote, and also could be a wonderful segue to this world of dogs and Howard's relationship with them.
Yes,
has
exactly.
kept that hound line in. But Hannah Lemp asks, Michael, if you could start a Yodel Shop quartet with any 3 people in the world, who would they be? And are there any particular songs you'd like to yodelify?
Oh, that's a really good question. They would be alive, I imagine. These people would have to be alive, right? I mean, okay, we'll do it with alive people.
I think they could be from the past. I think this is just like your ideal scenario.
Okay, my ideal Yodel Shop would be Madeline Kahn. 100%. She would be number one. She'd probably be the lead yodeler. Let's see. Madeline Kahn, Shirley MacLaine, just because I didn't get enough of her. I want more. And let's see, Patricia Clarkson and Margot Martindale. That's it. That would be, so it's a quartet and then me. And I think
a quintet.
A quintet. And I think we would yodel a lot of Mamas and the Poppins. Probably maybe a little Old Destiny's Child, Bills. No Scrubs by TLC, like all of that. Sort of like some 90s music.
90s R&B. I love it.
What's going on? That song. That's what we do.
I love that.
That'd be great.
I love that.
Season 3.
I have to go into my mom, but I could do one more question if anybody has one more.
You know what, there is, but let me actually, okay, I'm so sorry. I have to scroll back to it. Okay. Substantial Bank asks, Michael, what was it like shooting the scene with Bunny's last board meeting? How was it doing such a deadpan scene when Howard has so many moments that we as the audience find funny?
That was an incredible day because getting to watch Jane Hoody's show and Christine Coe go at it like that all day, it was like a very dramatic scene, their interactions and their fight. So it was kind of like getting a front row seat to some really incredible acting. And I think that was the first day Christine and Jane met. I don't know if they had done the other stuff in that episode, but their chemistry was so great. They tried it so many different ways. The director kept changing like the temperature of it. So it was either, extremely angry, maybe a little bit quieter, all different ways. So I got to watch that so many times and it was so fun. And basically on that set, like anytime you get to be on the set, I could have one line in the scene and it's so fun and incredible because it's a nice group of people. It's people who are so happy to be at work and kind, and everybody's just so great. Like the group scenes are the best because you have everybody there. You can just like, no matter who you look at, they're hysterical. But that day was pretty special because I got to watch the two of them go at it, and it was great.
Oh, that's so great.
Cool.
Yeah. And thank you for like, I think everyone kind of can feel that love and energy from the set, but it's just like so wonderful to hear that it's confirmed and it is actually the reality of the set. You know, I think
Oh, really is. We're all so lucky. I mean, and I think we know it. Like, it's just from the top down, from the Steve, Marty, and Selena to John, the showrunner, to everyone. We're just really lucky to be there because it's a nice, pleasant job.
An embarrassment of riches.
Exactly.
Yes.
Well, I can't wait for you all to see how it ends.
Yes.
And that's all.
Our fingers are crossed, Michael.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Watch all the way through the end. We'll see what happens. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
Thank you, Michael.
And please tell your mother we say hello.
I will. She's eating pizza. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Bye. Oh,
We had him on the podcast last season as well, and he was fantastic.
Oh, so good, yeah. And he brought up Shirley MacLaine, and we actually just talked to Shirley, and she is an absolute hoot. Honestly, everything she said was like a joke, and it was so hard to tell what was serious and what was not. And anyway, so we'll be hearing from her. Yeah, soon.
She has some zingers, that's for sure.
Yeah.
she's been trolling people far longer than we have.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Well, before we jump off, I think let's go through. KK, do you want to take people through the most recent series?
So each week on the podcast, Keener and I have a segment called the Whodunit Summit, where we make guesses of who we think the murderer is based on what we've seen so far. So this is up to episode 8. We seal it in an envelope and we open it for each other live. So we don't know who the other person picked. But of course, I do know who she picked because she's not here today. So for my pick for this week, I picked Detective Krebs, and that was solely based on the red glitter that was on his neck, as well as Howard when he bumped into him in the Arconia lobby. His shoulder was very tender. But I will admit, through the entire episode, I thought it was Marv, the super fan, because his Arconiac group was kind of like not impressed with his 6th Avenue slasher theory. They were kind of dismissive to him. We've already established.
And he felt a little creepy walking up towards the group in the beginning of the episode, you know?
Right. And then the power went out. So I'm like, is that a sign? We already know that he knows the catacombs of the Arconia. And he knows from when he was approaching the table that Lucy is at Charles's apartment alone. So those were very suspicious to me until the end when we realized he essentially saved Lucy, and then Detective Krebs showed up, who said he was just in the neighborhood, which I don't really buy. So Detective Krebs is my pick for this week.
Well, and Keener's guess is like just so out of the blue, I think. But anyway, you take it away.
Keener this week, she picks Alice. Keener
not even in this episode, right?
What's that?
Is Alice even in this episode?
I don't think so, no. Well, if you listen to the podcast, Keener kind of goes off on Alice for a bit. She does not trust her. She feels like she is opportunistic, and she feels like she took advantage of Mabel at a vulnerable time. So she just does not like Alice, and she feels like that carried over even though Alice was not in this episode. So Keener picks Alice, I pick Detective Krebs.
Very good. Well, if anyone has a current theory that they'd like to share that is different from ours, please let us know. We would love to hear it.
Yes.
And I'd actually like to add on to that, because we're getting to the kind of the end of the season. I want to know if anyone has people that we can take off the suspect list. Who do you think is innocent?
That's a good question.
Ooh, that is a really good question. I'm trying to remember if I read it.
I would take Nina Lynn off because she was in her apartment. She has the baby. Yeah. Lester showed up. I don't think she did it.
Yeah.
She's off my suspect list.
What about Howard?
Well, I feel like Howard was in his apartment on his date. So
I know, right?
I guess just depending on the timeline, Howard should be clear. Yeah. But his boyfriend neighbor did sneeze. So I don't know.
Right. So maybe this new person that's in the building somehow I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It was also interesting that he said that he was lethally allergic. I was like, are we going to watch this man drop dead?
Season 3?
I know. I know.
Only allergies in the building.
I'm trying to remember if there was anything in the thread about that. I mean, this week's discussion thread was so much about Howard. Definitely.
Yeah.
A lot of people giving props to Marv kind of having, a voiceover and being more involved. There's a lot of people thinking that Detective Krebs is a red herring, that he is the glitter guy. The glitter guy is an unrelated part of the core murder.
Interesting. Speaking of Marv, we get to talk to all these writers for every episode, and a bunch of them are really obsessed with Marv. And I'm so curious, we must get to know even more and more about Marv we got 2 episodes left, right? So I'm curious what we're going to learn and why the writers are so obsessed.
And he did get a narration. That's,
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
It says something right there.
There must be some crazy backstory that we do not know yet about Marv.
Very likely.
I can't wait for that as well.
Yeah.
And people are really, rooting for him to reunite with his daughter, because that seems, it was a very humanizing, thread this week of just concern for people, hoping for the best for people, also worrying about Lucy. A lot of people, myself included, shouting at the screen, "Close the door behind you. What are you doing?"
Yeah.
Oh, in the bathroom going into the tunnel, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, right. Yes.
Why?
I was like, what are you doing?
That was why. So people were kind of live commenting, and a lot of there was like, "Close the door, close the door."
Put something behind the door.
Yes, something. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Well, if anyone has another suspect that you can take off the list, raise your hand and let us know. We still would love to hear from other people's theories and suggestions.
Yeah. I always love hearing the reasoning that people give. It's always very interesting, their thought process.
Exactly. Don't be shy. Okay, wait, we do have a raised hand. Substantial Bank, you are on if you'd like to unmute.
Okay, hi. I hope you can hear me. We have a storm here. So I just want to say Lenora Folger and the cheese drama, I was not convinced by her fake stabbing the cheese and then all of a sudden stabbing the cheese in the middle at the party a few episodes ago. And I'm just I just wanted to plant that seed. That's all.
At Bunny's memorial.
Yes.
That's interesting. Because you feel like the stabbing in the middle was pretty spot on. And so maybe something to be suspicious of.
Exactly. Plus the fact that they actually made a joke about that.
Very
good.
Yeah. I like it. I think we might learn. We learn in the podcast next week. We can find out because we're talking to Shirley.
Cannot wait.
The cheese stabber herself.
I know a lot of people also commenting on the stabbing of the box. I'm so sorry. Her name just fell out of my head. Of
Nina?
The building manager.
Oh, Lester.
No, it's the woman that's selling
Nina?
the gut milk.
Oh, Ursula.
Oh, Ursula.
Ursula, thank you.
Gut milk Ursula.
Audrey, and I was like, that's not her name. Ursula, she stabs that box in this episode, and a lot of people are like, she stabbed that very expertly.
Yeah, she didn't puncture any of the cans or bottles.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you so much, Substantial Bank, and we really hope that you stay dry.
Yeah.
Thunder Dave, you are on if you'd like to share your theory or ask a question, whatever you'd like.
I'm here finally. I was doing the dramatic pause for effect.
You built the tension.
You did it.
The last time that I was on, I was completely confused. I said everybody did it, but I feel like I'm moving towards something. I'm just not sure what. I had Detective Krebs as glitter guy, so I felt very vindicated on that one. Mm-hmm. I feel that Cinda Canning is behind this. I don't think she's the murderer, but I think she's manipulating because I think she is ruthless. And I think that she is wanting to just rule the podcast world. And I just am waiting to find out if she's got some sort of connection with the Arconia. So that's kind of where I am right now. I'm very much looking forward to seeing what we get here in the next 2 episodes. And I do also think that Marv is Alice's father. So that's where I am.
Ah.
Honestly, I've heard that one a couple times, and I think it's a very interesting theory. And like a lot, that the fact that she might be faking the British accent,
Yes.
which I don't put past her. Yeah.
Yeah. What if Marv is faking a New York accent?
Oh,
good twist.
Whoa. Someone
That's
is
something to think
making
about. Ah.
Thanks a ton.
Thanks so much, Thunder
Thank you.
Dave.
I love it.
Oh, I never thought about that scenario.
There are so many theories out there, and there is one in the comments, another +1 for Cinda. And Hannah Lemp writes, I love the idea of an unhinged podcaster who would do anything for a good story. And there's
Hey.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
Let's take it down a notch.
Yeah. That wasn't meant to be a dig at you.
Who said that exactly?
Oh my
What was that
goodness,
screen
yes.
name?
Yes. But then Hot Initiative did reply, and they're saying, same. I've been suspicious of Cinda and Poppy since the end of last season. Why were they there?
Cinda and Poppy.
Yeah. I mean, I think anywhere Cinda goes, Poppy goes.
Right.
Right?
A package deal.
A package deal. They're a bit tethered, but like, how did
Does that
they
include murder?
Yes, maybe.
Yeah.
Like,
So maybe, because if Cinda is involved, you would think like Poppy would know, right?
yeah.
She knows her schedule, her calendar.
Yeah, exactly. Like, how do you fit in murder between like what were some of those calendar activities?
I want to say yodeling, but that's just stuck in my head right now.
Literal stimulation with
Stimulation.
Yeah,
It's like shouting into a bag.
Yeah.
some really good ones. Some really good ones. Well,
There were some good ones.
this was so fun,
Yes.
and I am not sure who we are going to have with us next week.
Well, we love having you both on. You know that. So thank you so much for
Thank you for having
through.
us.
Yes, making this like such an amazing weekly event. I know myself and others we look forward to it every week. So thank you so much, and have such a great rest of your week, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in, and until next time, we should be here again next week.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
definitely follow r/Only Murders Hulu for more updates.
We're already up to episode 9 next week.
I know it's going by so fast.
Crazy.
Also
It's
so
going
slowly.
by so fast. It's going by so fast. We'll see everybody next week.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.